Happy Friday! It took me a couple extra minutes to get this thing all fired up and set up, but welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm excited to connect. I'm at home today. The little one's here somewhere. I'll try to see if I can grab her at some point so you can say hello. That's Ellie. Hang on, Ellie. You want to say hi? Here. If you're gonna talk to the people, here. Here. You want to say hi? All right. This is Ellie. Everybody. Ellie says hello. Ellie's gonna do the live show for me. Right, Ellie? Does it sound good? Are you in? What do you want to talk about today? You want to tell everybody how they can create clarity in their business? You're really good at that. Let me let you down. All right. Well, so thanks for joining. Let me. It's taking me a minute to get. Oh, Mike, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Congrats. Thank you. Michael Ficara, the man, is up in here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hang on. I'm not in the office, so I'm like totally not set up technologically for this right now. But anyway, so let me ask you it's an awesome view. Thanks, John. I appreciate that, man. It is a pretty awesome view. Let me get you a little New York City behind me. So yeah, I'm doing this from home because got a baby. Got a baby. I'm a dad. Be bold. What's up? Thanks so much. Anyway, so I want to talk to you because yesterday was Growing Bold episode 2. I didn't get as much time to promote it because you know, having a baby is a little bit of work. Not really for me, more for Allie, but she's a champion. She's like already out in the world, living the dream, killing it, which is awesome to see. She's very bold, boldest person I know, aside from maybe Annie and Ellie, my baby and my dog, my furry baby. But what I want to talk about today really is, you know, after episode 2, Growing Bold, you know, episode 1, you guys had a lot of questions about, oh man, what happened? How many people left? Like, what are you going to do? All this, right? And obviously, I lost a lot of folks, you know, after making a really strong decision to get very clear in what the business is about, what we're trying to accomplish, and what we stand for, and what our standards are. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to say, hey, look, we're going to change everything. We're going to change the game. Today we're here and we're doing well, but we want to get here. And here's what it's going to require. Here's how much work that's actually going to take. And being very clear and saying, hey, look, like this isn't going to be for everybody, and that's okay. That's cool. Like, I don't expect it to be for everybody, but here's what the new standards are going to be like when you walk in on Monday. And if that's not your deal, you don't want to be part of that team, like that's okay. Here's the exit plan, right? So that's a tough thing to do. It was a really hard choice. And now that you know that a lot of folks decided to take it, I want to talk about why and how you get clear in that and answer some of your questions about the challenges that we've faced and still face today about making such a big, massive change in the business, but also the upside of doing so and really what you gain out of doing that and really what happens by pushing through those challenges in that hard time to say, look, like we're going to be more, we're going to be bigger, we're going to do more. It's going to be harder. It's not going to be easy. We're going to lose folks along the way. But we're going to be very clear in our expectations. We're going to be clear with the people that have stayed. We're going to be clearer with the people that come on board and new folks, because that's what really allows you to create the business and the life of your dreams is really by saying, hey, what do I really stand for? What does the business stand for? And what are our ideals? What are our standards? And what are we never going to accept? And then just sticking to that. So how many of you, let me get my phone up here. How many of you have watched Growing Bold episode 2 for season 2. I'm going to read some of this while you guys are jumping in. Just say yes if you watched episode 2 of season 2. Congrats. Ready for some great stuff. Thanks, Dan. It was the right decision. Thanks, Alex. Mary Lou, congrats, Daddy. Thank you. How did the change affect how you hired new people? What changed in your process for hiring? Mike, how did the change affect how you hired new people? It was actually really, it had a really big impact, right? Because making that change, getting really clear on what the standards are at Bold and myself and employees, we now understand really like what are the behaviors, right? You need to be able to take action. You need to live in action. So if you're a person who thinks a lot and is afraid to take action, afraid to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, that's a quality that's not going to fly at Bold, right? And so those are like, and that's one element of some of the things now that we're actually looking for when we're hiring. Like, how do we figure out if somebody can live in action, if they can take action, not just talk the talk, but like make sure they say something. Not only are they delivering, but they're delivering to an extent that's beyond what they even thought was capable, or what they thought was capable of themselves. So like, that's one simple example, but it's really now actually change the questions that we ask. How are we grading people who are going to be a good fit or not? And like I said, action, staying and living in action is really one of the most important things for the business that we're growing. Number 2, putting the clients first, right? So how do people talk about their previous clients? Like when you ask somebody now, not that we didn't do this before, but now it's at the forefront. Like, okay, tell me about your most challenging moment with a client or a boss or a manager or leader. Okay, tell me about that. What was it like? What did you hate? What did you do about that situation? And the way that people answer that is going to be very, very telling, right? If they answer that with, by saying, hey, look, this was really tough. Here was the situation, but here's what I learned from that. Here's how I worked with them. Here's how I turned the situation around. Here's how I took action. Here's how I got them to see it my way. Here's how I then saw it their way. Here's how we acted like a partner. If they answer the question like that, fantastic. Like, move to the next round, move to the next question. Or if they're like, oh, this one client, they were crazy, they didn't understand, or, they just didn't want to do the right thing. The second they blame the client, boom, they're out. That's been one of the most challenging things in hiring people, especially from the ad industry, because when we ask them questions like, hey, what has been your most challenging client? Like, what's the worst client you've had? And then they just say, oh, here was the problem. And, you're like, well, why? Why were they like that? Oh, well, and then they even remotely blame the client. They're out. So it's really hard to find people that don't even think that way. Like, I don't even want that to be a part of their logic as a human being. So it filters down a lot of people, might get 100 people for a job. I'm like maybe considering 2 or 3 out of that 100, maybe, and they might not even make it. So it's really, the hiring process has been much longer than I anticipated, because like the standards of what we accept and what we anticipate, like what we expect out of people and ourselves, and the standards we're going to hold are so much higher that the only people that are going to make it through have to hit those requirements. And it's not even like a, hey, okay, they were okay. Like those behavioral requirements about like putting the client first, living in action, constantly learning, like those are a must. And so if they don't even have that, they're gone. Or if they kind of sort of, no, like you're 10 to 10 on those things, or you're out. But the difference is really that the people that have come back on board, the people that have stayed, the new hires, it's like unbelievable when you walk into a room of people like that, where everyone's thinking the same way, because that's just at the core of how they operate as a person. Forget what they do technically, forget what they know creatively, but like if you think from the core very similarly as a human being, imagine walking into a room like that. Imagine the power, how fast decisions are made now. How much more decisive things are, how much more creative things are, because people are thinking the same way. So it's really a behavioral change in how we hire and how we think about that. And holding the standards so much higher, because I really said, look, we're raising the bar. The standards were great in comparison probably to most companies, but now they're going to be the best, like Super Bowl worthy level behavioral requirements. And so either you play at that level or you just don't play with us, and that's okay. But that is what has been one of the biggest changes so far. So let me scroll back up. So it's a good question. Let's see. Yes. This is just the beginning. This is going to be a powerful talk. Yeah, Patrick, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Alex, which tool did you use to select new people to hire? No tool. I mean, we've got we have an app or whatever it's called, piece of software called Workable, which is just like, it's just a database essentially. Like, how do we, categorize, remember who's where in the pipeline? But like, it doesn't, as far as a tool, it's not like, I know there's all sorts of behavioral tools that you can give people. I used to use those actually, and they're okay. But forget that. Like, what we're doing now is we're actually just like one-to-one. Like Lisa, who came over, who's one of the newer hires since what you saw, who we stole from Tesla, because she's like freaking brilliant and she's just like in action all day, every day. She helped to hire thousands of people there, and so she's helping to do that here. Not quite at that scale yet, but and she's like, I don't even want to talk to people on the phone. We don't need phone screening interviews. Like, let's just go get them in the office. I want to see somebody in person. That first question, how do they answer it? Like, what's the vibe? Like, how do they answer these behavioral questions? She's like, I want to see that, I want to know that. And so like, it's like, we're not using technology for that, because it's really hard. Like, because people can write down their answers when you talk to them on the phone, but you come in for the first time, you check the boxes, you answered the right questions online, and okay, in theory, like on paper, you sound great. So come on in, like, let's talk. And so that's actually been a really big change, because for me, I love to just categorize everything, automate everything, have a little, technology behind everything. But it really is, if we're really hiring behaviors first, you have to really see somebody, you have to talk to them, you have to understand, like, how does their mind really work? How do they answer those tough questions? And like, where does their mind go first when you ask something for the first time? Because that's such a big indication. Right? Like, you ask somebody like, hey, like, what's your worst client? What's the worst client you've ever worked with? What's the worst boss you've ever had? The first instinct where they go immediately is probably their default. They've had time to warm up to that, think about it, get a pre-interview, like, okay, they kind of get the vibe of like, what are you looking for? So it's very important to get that first instinctual piece of feedback. That's been a big game changer. It's a slower process, but it's the right process. Yeah, no problem. How many episodes is Bold Season 2 going to be? At least 10. We're aiming for 12, but it'll be at least 10. So we'll get to the end of the year, end of December for sure. We might spill over into January. It just depends. And just frankly, like, obviously, spoiler alert, right? I just had a kid, a baby. Lisa, who works for me, says, you can't stop calling it a kid. Call it your baby. Anyway, Annie, my baby, we just had that and had her, and so so a little bit of just life changes and stuff like that. Actually, I don't really even feel like it's been that big of a change so far, aside from all the awesome parts of it. However, it just really depends on some logistical things of like, are we going to get 12 out before we call it a season, or are we going to do 10? But we definitely are doing 10 for sure, which will take us to the end of the year, which I'm also excited about, because then we go season 3. Beginning, Q1, Q2 next year. All right, let me scroll back up here. What are your rhythms to hold people accountable to your expectations or their goals? Okay, Tyler, that's a fantastic question. So, number one, it's about being super, super clear from day one. Okay, so great, like you're a new hire. Here's the expectations. And like drilling in the behavioral stuff every single day, day in and day out. I'm actually going to see if I can pull this up. I'm not going to share it, but I want to see if I can pull up a couple of those behaviors that I was talking about and read you off one or two verbatim, just because my mind is not as sharp as as always. So I want to pull up a little bit of that and give you just a little taste of some of the behaviors. Here we go, that we're talking about here specifically, right? Because like it's all right. Here's the expectations. What we expect from you as a job, as a person, like the behaviors. Number one, and number two, like drilling that into everybody's head day in and day out, every single day. So some of those are, number one, it's client first. Like we put our clients first. We communicate with them often, quickly, with empathy. We present them with valuable information that helps them grow, right? So it's like as soon as myself, anybody in the organization sees that somebody's not acting that way, like that's a behavioral trait. Like, so are you putting the client first? Are you putting ourselves first, or yourself first, or your career first? Like, are you putting the client first with every decision, every call, every email? Like, are you responding quickly? Are you responding often? Or do you have empathy? Are you just blaming the client? Like, hey, the client didn't know about X. Or you empathize and say, hey, they didn't know about this thing. Like, so I didn't do a good job in explaining it or presenting it. Let me get them some more information. Like, those are very different interactions. And you can see that right away every single day, right? We present them with valuable information that helps our clients grow. So like, are you just giving them like spreadsheets and crap, or are you actually like distilling information down and saying, hey, like here is valuable marketing information that helps you grow. Like we understand your objective as a business, as marketers, like we get what you need. And here's information that's going to actually help your company and you as a person grow as our client. So like you see that, you feel that. It's very obvious if it's happening or not. And the second that you see anything outside of that, immediate correction. Like no, like, oh, okay, we'll meet and have an annual review. No, it's like, hey, come over here. I heard that call, and you know what? I don't feel like we got back to them fast enough, or I don't feel like you're really being empathetic with them and understanding why. You didn't ask why did they not understand it? What can we do better? You weren't asking those questions. I need you to make sure that you get back to them, like shoot them an email right now and make sure you follow up with that, right? Like you can correct that instantaneously. Another one is, is act quickly, right? Like this is a huge behavioral trait, and like based off of the change I was trying to make in the company and what I saw and what we did to grow to this point, like, yeah, a lot of people talk about what needs to happen. A lot of people talk about strategy. A lot of people talk about theory, but like act quickly. Like that's a behavioral standard. Like that's a standard in bold now. Like we do not wait. We take action. When we see an opportunity, we jump on them, and when we see problems, we solve them. Like we're not waiting around, right? You're not going to wait around because, oh, well, I have to wait for this person to get back to me. Dude, well, you can control that. So like, how do you get them to know this, that you can get this answer? How do you get in touch with them faster? Like, do you really need to wait for that answer? Like, does this have to be approved? Like, can we just move forward with it? Can we solve it right now? Do we have to have that meeting, or can you just solve it? Like, so acting quickly. And it's also something that you see, and it's something that you can just say, like a real simple example is when I've heard, or when we've heard people say things like, all right, well, I'm just waiting on this person to send me this information. The follow-up to that goes, all right, well, can you get that information yourself, or you have to get it just from them? And guess what? Typically, most times, it's not. You don't really actually have to wait for that. It's like, well, no, I don't. I can go and get it this way. Great. So let's do that right now. Like, and that's how you get people to see, oh, okay, that's what we mean by act quickly. That's what we mean by clients first, right? Like, and be resourceful is another one. I'll give you 3. So clients first, act quickly, be resourceful, and we're relentlessly resourceful. We always find ways. We can't, the words we can't doesn't exist in our organization anymore. Like if I hear that, like it's poison. Like I am all over if I say, well, we can't do, what's up, man? Why are we even thinking that way? We're creative in how we solve any problem. So it doesn't have to be like a creative problem. It's just like, well, what's the issue? How do we solve that creatively? Great. So it's like, well, we can't do anything about X. I go, why not? Why can't we? Oh, because we don't have this. Great. Do we really need that? Well, I don't know. This is how we've done it before. Cool. Well, let's figure out a way to do it without that thing you said we need. That's resourceful, right? So those are examples. Those are elements of like, how do you create behaviors? How do you create clarity? How do you create standards in your business, in your organization, your life? And just stick with it. And that's the key, because it's not just about like, hey, I'm going to, write these things on paper. You're going to read a handbook, and then a year from now or 6 months from now, I'm going to sit down with you and ask you how things are going. Screw that. So it's like, you can see this stuff. And that's why this is first. We hire for this. We hire for these. And so once we have those, we have 7 standards. So like, we hire for those 7 behavioral standards. And then we don't deviate from those, because those dictate everything that we do. Okay, and so then it's like, well, if you hit these 7 standards and you really like get it and you see life the way that we do and you're on board with this and that excites you, hell yeah. Now, can you do the technical thing or the creative thing or that you need to do? And guess what? Let me tell you what, because if our standards are like be resourceful, act quickly, clients first, you can learn the other stuff. And that's the difference, right? And so those are the things that are allowing us to be so much more clear and change the game and change the industry and change our business. And that's what the biggest change. And that's why I changed the standards. That's why I was willing to stand up in front of my agency and say, these are the new standards. Like, stay, if you believe in this and you believe that you can stand up to this and you're going to come in and every day, these 7 standards you're going to hit, you're going to push, you're going to hold everyone else accountable to those 7 standards. If you believe that, come in on Monday. If you don't, that's totally cool. And I'm not going to judge you, but like, this isn't the right team. We're building a Super Bowl level team. Let's go. So hopefully that was a good, hopefully that answered your question there. This is a good rant. I'm feeling this. I'm getting amped up here. How do you, it's not letting me see these comments in full. Hang on, let me try it from the other app here. I swear every time Facebook recently has updated the app, it's been crazy. All right, so let's see. And nothing falls by the wayside. What do you mean by that, Ryan? I appreciate that. It's a good question. I'm just not sure of the context. I was talking for a while there. What context? Nothing falls by the wayside. Daniel, do you sell bold socks? I do not yet. I do not yet, but we got to get some more bold swag because I love it. I think it's awesome. We're working on that too. All right, Colby, how do you balance work, business, and a personal life with a wife and a little one? Have you had trouble finding where the line is with your employees for time off and personal life, yet expecting them to work as hard as you do? Yeah, it's a really interesting question. Well, and something I'm definitely going to be answering in future episodes, specifically, like really getting into that, and growing bold. But for me, I don't believe in balance, right? I just believe in focus. Like, what are you focusing on right now? That's it. Like, there is no balance. Balance to me is boring. Balance to me is half-assed. Balance to me is, I think that most people, when they hear balance, they think, oh, I should put 30% of my time and energy over here, 30% over here, 20% here, and 10% there. Dude, what are you gonna do? What do you do? That's why, like, most people's lives are mediocre across the board. Their business, their job's mediocre, their family life's mediocre, their money life is mediocre, for their financial life is mediocre. Like, their adventure, like, in life is mediocre because they never freaking focus and put 110% of energy into any one of those things for any given period of damn time. And so for me, I'm super passionate about, like, F balance, man. Like, F balance. Stop looking for balance and go, what do I want to accomplish? Right? Like, can I go all in? Like, today, I'm still doing Facebook Live. I got my puppy here. Hey, Ellie. She's killing it. Oh. Ellie, you hustling? Every day. But, like, I'm here, okay? So, like, so what? So I spent the whole day, all day yesterday, me, my wife, my baby, my dog, like, we went out. We're spending time walking around. Like, wife's feeling good, baby's healthy, dog still gets 100% of the same amount of attention she did before. So now it's just the 4 of us going out instead of the 2 or 3 of us going out. So we've been outside walking. Great. Now it's 2 p.m. I'm going all in on this because I want to give you guys a value. I want to really be transparent and show you what it is like to grow a business. It's freaking hard, man. It's freaking hard to have these level of standards because you know why? Because people send you DMs and stuff like that. Like, oh, you're this or you're that. No, dude. Like, you have shitty standards. You have crappy standards. Raise your damn standards. It changes your life. But it's like, stop trying to find balance and like balance it all out. Like, I went all in the entire day until 1:30 in the afternoon with my family. Now I'm going all in on this for an hour. And then I'll be all in on my family for the rest of the day. So there is no balance. Like, there really isn't. And there's going to be times where, you know what? I'm away longer than I would like to for my family. Like, that's just going to happen. But you know what? There's going to be days where like I'm away longer from my business than like I would like to be. But it's just about going all in 110% on the thing that you're doing right now and understanding, why am I doing it? And what is this going to do for my life? And is this what I really want? Going in, all in, like forget like trying to balance a little bit here and there. Like, I feel sad for people that think like, okay, I'm going to work and I'm going to come home and I'm going to spend 1 hour with my family. F that, dude. Like, go all in. Have your sleepless night and then go take 2 days and spend it with your family, like all in. And then go have 2 sleepless nights and stay at the office. It's more fun. It's crazy. But people think that there should be some like, dude, I don't play by hours of the day. I play by how all in can I be on the thing that I want to accomplish, because that's what moves the needle. That's what moves stuff forward. That's what changes lives. That's what changes businesses. This is freaking fun, man. It's cool. All right. Kevin, how are you checking people to make sure they're doing the right thing? Does it fall on the team? Does it fall on the team? Is it just people letting you know their team aren't meeting the standards? No, because you know it's not like, hey, tattletale on the other employees and come to me. It's, I expect everyone to live by these standards and hold everyone else accountable equally so to those standards. And so what's interesting too is part of this is, you know, it is really about also making sure that, you know, we're constantly improving. So I don't want to hire people that like can't speak candidly and are like worried about like, oh, well, I just, you know, I don't really want to be told that. I want people that are hungry. Like, one of the people who's worked with me for a long time, Jason, said to me like, he's a big fan of the Patriots. He's like, dude, be Bill Belichick. Like, Tom Brady doesn't get off the field and get pat on the back by Belichick and say, oh man, you did great. You know what Bill Belichick does? He pulls him aside, winning game or losing game, and points out all the crappy things he did. The bad play, the bad move, the hesitation in the pocket, looking left when he should have looked right, the wrong play call, like all of that stuff. He points out all of that because they want to be the best, and because Tom wants to improve, because Bill wants to have the best damn team, coach the best damn team. And so Jay said to me, dude, like, be Bill Belichick on me. Like, don't hold back. Tell me what I need to hear. He's like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best, and I can't be the best if I don't know my blind spots, if I don't know where I need to improve. So like, there's a weird thing, I think, like in our society where people feel like, hey, feedback has to be negative. Like, pull somebody in a private room and tell them how bad they've been. F that, dude. Like, just see it. Like, audibles on the field all day, every day. Audibles all day, every day, right? So it's just like, hey, Jason, we just got off this call, dude. Like, you know what? I don't think that part of the presentation went well. Like, I think you did really great over here, but we really need to tweak this. Can we make sure that next time before we get on this call that this is solid and this is solid and we do this for the client? Oh, yeah, man, totally got it. Thank you. Great. Okay, cool. How are we going to both know that that happened? Okay, hey, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, and I'm going to show it to you on Friday. Perfect. Friday, 1 p.m. Let's see it. That's how we operate. And do you know how different it is in an organization today versus even a year ago when I have everybody in the organization understanding that's how we operate? Dude, it's freaking refreshing because people just want to hear how it is. Like, dude, tell me what's wrong. And like, tell me what's wrong, not about the other employees. Like, I don't need tattletales. I don't care about that. I'm not there to like scold anybody. Tell me personally, Brian, CEO, what is Brian doing wrong? Hey, Brian, you said this one thing that we need to focus in on this week, but I see you're spending a bunch of energy over here. Is there a reason for that? Oh, good call. Or, yeah, there is a reason. Here's why I'm doing that, because this is leading to that other thing that we did talk about. Oh, got it. Thanks, man. I understand what we're doing now. Great. Perfect. Or, you know what? You're absolutely right. You know what? I did say this, and I am getting distracted. I'm doing this over here because it's the easier thing to do. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get back to the other thing that we talked about this week as our number one target, as our number one goal. Dude, like, I want the feedback just as much as anybody else. And so when we create an organization of people that are hungry for that feedback, not afraid to give it, but not afraid to receive it, is a game changer. And none of it's negative. It's not like, oh, you messed this up. It's like, hey, dude, I saw this. We could do this better. Can we tweak this a little bit next time? Can we make this presentation better? Can we have this meeting shorter next time we do it? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, great. Yeah, hey, does anybody have a good idea how we can change this thing? Can we get rid of this software that sucks? Like, it's slowing everybody down? Yeah, hey, let me research that. Let's talk about it next week. I'll come back to you with a couple options. Dude, like, that's a game changer. That changes organizations. You know what? Most businesses, most organizations don't think that, which is why I did what I did. It wasn't easy because I didn't want an average organization. I want an organization where I'm surrounded by people that I walk in the door every single day and I'm motivated by them. Forget me motivating everybody else. I want to be motivated by all my employees, and I am. Like they get me excited. Like they're like even talking about this, I'm like, hell yeah. Like we go through so much. There's so much life change right now, so much business change that even sometimes I forget like how much we're working towards. And it's freaking cool. It's really, really cool. Love the idea of fixing it now versus waiting a month to quarterly dive into a while it's fresh. Dude, right now, Audible on the field, audibles all day. Don't wait, don't hesitate. And that's a big change for me as a CEO, because not that I really hesitated, but I'd wait. I'd make some reasons or excuses. Oh, I know you didn't get that thing right, or she didn't do this yesterday. It'll be okay. Like, it'll be fine. I don't want to, put pressure on that person today. Why? They can't improve if they don't know. And again, it's not being a dick. Like, there's people that want to be like, power hungry. Dude, I don't want to build an organization where like I'm the boss. Like, I want to walk into an organization where I'm like pleasantly surprised every time I walk in and go, damn, dude, I didn't know we could do that stuff. That's awesome. Let me go tell everybody about it. That's different. That's different. So it's just about like when I see stuff. But again, everybody's seeing stuff. Anybody. Hey, like not tattletale, not tearing anybody down, but like, hey, here's how you get better. Here's what I see. Here's a blind spot. Here's how we can improve. Dude, it's a game changer. Have audibles all day. Forget the like yearly, quarterly. F that, dude. Today, right now. This just happened. Let's go. Let's fix it. Are there people who are giving this media training and correcting the right ways? What does that mean? I don't understand the correct ways. It's just based on the behaviors, right? You get 7 behaviors. Dude, did we act quick? Dude, was that quick or did we overthink that? Like, that's it. It's simple. There's no like freaking complex management book. I threw all that stuff away. Thank you for the roadmap. You're welcome, Rich. Congrats on your growing family. Thank you, Greg. What's up, man? What's up, Curtis? True, why wait, take action. Mike Ficara. Yes, thank you. Ryan Carr, thanks for clarifying. How do you make sure the quality produced with the pace you are trying to keep is maintained with 40% less staff? Oh, so we did a few different things. It's a great question, by the way, right? So we lost 40% of our staff. Here's what I did. And this is actually why, kind of been hinting to it for months now, this is why it took us so long to get Growing Bold back up and running. Because I took those resources, I jammed them over to the client side because it was necessary to do so. I needed to fill some creative holes, right? So I had to take some of that team, some of that bandwidth off of me and the company, as much as I hated to do it, and make sure our clients were okay. Then I staffed up with freelance, been doing this for a long time, have a lot of great people, brought in a lot more freelance and remote workers, etc. And so we just patched it all like that. The funny part is, believe it or not, when I got rid of the people or the people that left that just like weren't 110% committed, that 60% less, or those 60% of the people that stayed did like twice the amount of work with no more effort, because all of a sudden you just started to realize like, oh wow, like that frictional person is gone. Oh wow, that person that was in the middle of these two pieces of the puzzle is out of there. So now this person just go right to the end goal, right to the execution to get it done. Like, it doesn't take 2 days. It now takes 2 hours because there's nobody in the middle to like slow it down. Like, that's what happened. That was one of the biggest changes. So no, like that's how we maintained it. And don't get me wrong, like there were some challenges. Like we messed a few things up, but overall, like we were able to maintain that bandwidth that way. Houston, let's see. I'm pitching a few bar owners this afternoon. What would your suggestion be? As soon as you meet, create the convo first or pitch the sell? What's the context of the meeting? That's what I would ask. What's the context of the meeting? Basically answers my question. No problem. Kevin, sweet. Thank you. I'm really excited to hear how your time with Matt Monero went. Episode 3. Can you share a takeaway? Matt Monero. Okay, takeaway for episode 3. I will. I'll do that. And I don't think it's not going to spoil anything. So, yeah, Matt Monero, man, is somebody I really look up to. Like, he's built multi-$100 million company. He's had his own fair share of struggles as an entrepreneur, as somebody that started his own business. So he has the come up story, and I can relate to that. And, I think I connected with him just because, he's real, he gets it. We're on a similar wavelength that way. And just to really understand, like, once you get around more and more people who are super successful and realize, like, they've gone through the same stuff you're going through. Like, there's no right or wrong way. This is just part of the process. And number 2, Matt Monero, he's got a new book out called You Need More Money. I think we're going to give a few of those away next week, by the way. That's a great book, and he talks a little bit about this. But he also has a great TEDx talk where he talks about torching his business. And he did it for somewhat different reasons, but very similar, where he just walked in one day and realized it wasn't the place that he was trying to build. And he realized like he just didn't have clear standards. And so he gutted everything. And he took even further steps back. But that was one of the best things that he said that he'd ever done. And so that was a big inspiration for me. And it was really, I think, it was really good to know that somebody else who's insanely successful and like brilliant guy who's built a massive, massive business did similar things, right? So it's not impossible. Like he felt that he needed to reset at a bigger scale than I did. And so if I was feeling that, it wasn't just me. It wasn't the wrong thought. It's just sometimes you just start to overthink your things as a business owner or entrepreneur, and you go like, oh man, maybe I'm overcomplicating this. Maybe I'm trying to expect too much from people. Those are the thoughts that you start going in your head, and that's what starts to create mediocrity and low standards. But when I talked to Matt, and he talked to me about some of the choices that he made to pull everything back down, to burn it, to torch it, as he called it, torch the business in order to build what he really wanted to build, and how much of a positive impact that had on him, his family, his company, his business, his employees, and he grew much, much bigger. Like, again, multi-hundred millions of dollars. Like he's legit and then some. And so for me to hear that, to go, no, you know what? You're not expecting too much from people. It's okay. Like they don't have to want the same things as you, but there's plenty of people out there that do, that think the same way you do. Go freaking find them and create those standards in the organization that bring those people in and push the people that don't fit that right out the door, like immediately. So that's something that I think was a big takeaway for me, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight. And I think there's a lot of really great stuff that Matt talked about. That you're going to see in episode 3 next Thursday at 2. Patrick, you just read Michael just read the book. Yeah, Matt Monero's book. You Need More Money, which everybody does. It's a great book though. Seriously, I would suggest reading it if you haven't. Patrick, how often would you say taking a few steps back to rocket forward actually works? As often as you need. Like business goes like this, right? So you grow and then you hit a plateau. And then you have to recognize, like, why are we plateauing? What's the problem? Usually you have to take a couple steps back to fix why you got to that plateau, to reset a little, and then you grow again, and then you hit another plateau. It's the same thing over and over. You go, all right, why are we plateauing? Like, what did we do? Is it a systems problem, a people's problem, a standards problem, a whatever, like sales problem, a product problem? What's the deal? Okay, let's take a little bit of time and energy. Let's fix that, unwind it, and then keep going. And the same thing, and this is just going to constantly happen over and over and over, plateaus, right? But it's about like when you hit that, understand why. Why are we being held back? What's slowing down here? What's the bottleneck? What's the problem? What's the issue? How do we fix it? Most of the time, it requires taking a few steps back, and then you can start rocketing back forward again. So that's what we did in a very specific way. Let me see here. What other questions do you guys have? I'm just pulling something up here. Sorry. Okay. All right. Well, while we do that, I'm going to give away. I don't know how many books we got from Bill Woodich. I saw that they're another awesome freaking book, Always Forward. Amazing dude. Bill Woodich, another guy, built a massive, insanely super successful business. Someone else I look up to, someone that very, very smart, very, very kind dude who's built a massive business. His book, Always Forward, has also helped me. So we're giving a few of those away. They were sent to the office. I haven't been in this week, so I don't know. I should have asked how many copies we got. I know we at least got a few, so I'm going to give away a few of those copies. Who would like a copy of Bill Woodich's Always Forward? Post that in the comments right now. Say Always Forward, and I'll pick a few of you real quick to give the book to. If we have more than a few, which we might and probably do, then I'll give a few more out. But I'll at least pick 3 of you right now. Let me see here. Let me see. 1 second. And so all right, and so. So as far as the folks that hang on. There we go. So as far as the winners of the 15 Minutes to Bold, by the way, Blake Davis is going to get a 30-minute call with me. We're going to schedule that out. It's going to be a little flexible with my time right now, but we'll figure it out. We'll get you on there. Blake Davis, man, you commented and shared right out of the gate. Episode 2, thank you very much. And for anybody that doesn't know the 15 Minutes of Bold, every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we launch a new episode of Growing Bold. If you share or comment in the first 15 minutes of launching, so right after 2 p.m. in the first 15 minutes, you share or comment, you get an opportunity every single week. I'm going to pick one person that did that to get a 30-minute phone call with me. We can talk business, we can talk marketing, we can just chat, whatever you want to use that time for. I pick one person for that. I pick a few other people that we're going to send some swag to and give away some books and other really great things that some of my friends have provided me. Like, Grant Cardone sent some 10X books. We'll probably give a few more of those away soon too. Bill Woodich and Matt Monero. These guys all given some really great books. Good people. So if you share and or comment within the first 15 minutes of launching a Growing Bold episode every Thursday at 2, you can do it on Facebook. You can do it on YouTube. I will pick somebody. So Blake is going to get 30 minutes from me for this week, which is freaking fantastic. Excited for you. Olaf Mina is another person that's going to get some swag this week. Seth Gilmore also getting some swag. And what was the other one here? Glenneth Reed also getting some swag this week. And then I'm going to pop back over. So if I called your name out, I'll post it later as well. But if I called your name out, just send me a DM on Facebook, and we'll get you set up with my folks here at the office, and they'll get you your swag, and they'll get you coordinated with 30 minutes with me and all that great stuff. So let me pull back over to my app here. It's not really working well. Hang on. Crashing apps. Where did we go? There we go. Pulling it back up here. All right. Here we go. All right. Paul, Mike, Jacob, going to send you guys a copy of Always Forward. And anybody else that wants a copy of that, throw some in there. I think we have some more books. And if not, I'll call Bill and we'll get some more books out. But at least give a couple more of those away. We're going to send those out to you. So send me a DM too, and make sure that we get you a copy of that sent out as well this week. So hang on one second. Let me see if I might have a special guest for you. In the meantime, Ellie's going to keep you entertained. Ellie's going to entertain you for a minute. Let me see if I can bring a special guest out. Hold on. And if you still have any questions for a Q&A, throw them in there, and I'll try to answer a few more before we wrap this up. Ellie, can you give them your best business advice? Ellie, did you teach everybody everything that you know about business? This is Annie. Annie, say hi to everyone on Facebook. You're live on Facebook. Where's your face? On Facebook. There we go. Say hi to everybody, Annie. She's sleepy. You sleepy? But you cute. You kind of smiling. Oh, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. Right, Ellie? Yeah, Ellie loves Annie. So anyway, this was my amazing gift this week from my wife. He's so sleepy. All right, let me go hand her off, and if there's any other questions you guys have, I will answer them before I sign off here in a couple of minutes. Sweetie, what about you? Any business advice? Just be relaxed, chill, be yourself. That's cool. That's good advice. All right. Well, I hope Annie and Ellie gave you some really good advice on how to run your business. She's so sweet. She is so sweet. It's unbelievable. All right. Let me pull this back up. App's still acting up. Apping up. That was a terrible dad joke. I'm good at those. Let's see here. All right. So any other quick questions? Beautiful. So cute. So cute. Gives the keeps on giving. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats. Congrats. Thank you. Welcome to the best part of life. Thanks, Blake. Appreciate it. Well, cool. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Get back to the family and Ellie. Oh, Ellie, what's up? Get back to some family life real quick. But thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, Growing Bold every Thursday at 2 p.m. And also remember that if you comment and/or share in the first 15 minutes on Facebook or YouTube of every Growing Bold, you're going to get an opportunity every single week. I'm going to pick one person to get a 30-minute call with me, some people to win some swag, give away some books, and, oh yeah, forgot to even mention, going to also pick somebody before the end of the season, before the end of the year, to fly them out to New York City, spend a day at Bold HQ, spend a day with me. We're going to hang out, talk business, shop, whatever you want to do. So that's the grand prize, as you want to call it, which I'm really excited about. So make sure, make sure you remember to do that. And by the way, in full transparency, right? We're a marketing media agency, and we're doing it because obviously it spreads, it gets the show out there a little bit more. But the real reason that I'm doing this is what's been the biggest shock for me about doing Growing Bold is not just like our exposure, but it's been the amount of people that have mentioned to me or have DM'd me, thousands, not even hundreds, thousands of people now, that have said, hey, look, like I watched how you went through this challenge or this problem, or what you did here in this pitch, or your perspective on whatever it was, on sales, on business, on life, and it changed my world, it changed my life, it changed my business. And that to me has been so much more powerful than just the exposure that we get that helps us grow our business and our clients' business. And so for that reason, I want as many people to see Growing Bold as possible. So you guys help me do that. That's how you pay me back, because I'm not selling nothing. I'm giving stuff away, spend a lot of time, energy, and money on this content, and you guys know it. The only thing I want is just to continue to grow the audience, and help as many people as I can. So even outside of this, you guys help get other people to watch Growing Bold and to spread the word and to share it out and join in on the 15 minutes of Bold, so they can also get an opportunity to get flown out to New York potentially. That helps me, and it's also really cool. So I thank you guys. I hope you have an awesome Friday, an awesome weekend, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for seeing Ellie. I hope she gave you some good business advice. Thanks for thanks for the wonderful comments on Annie and our family, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys. Be bold and make sure to just keep freaking living your dreams.